Hi, Giri. A very good afternoon and welcome to our podcast, OfferX Beyond the Offer.
Thank you, Alisha. Nice meeting you.
Same here. So, I have been doing podcasts for a while. I've been meeting a lot of people, and more than their professional life, I am a little bit interested what these HRs and talent heads do beyond the desk as well. It can have a lot of you can include a lot of experiences of how you deal with employees, how 18 years of your work life has been, how do you balance your work and your personal life, and what interests you mostly. I'm always interested to know what changed in your life, something that you feel that okay, this drove me to this profession. This particular time I thought that okay, no, HR is my calling, HR is my passion. So please get started.
Being very frank, my inspiration is my parents. I mean, we are from a faction family, being very frank. I mean, so my father was most of the time out of our village, and I kept helping my mom at my childhood, whereas my father wasn't there. I used to walk around 6 kilometers a day to go to college. So those are the places I came from, right? And I had that enthusiasm to somehow get succeeded. But whereas because of some sort of a domain change, education change and all that, I mean, I was not very well, very good at my studies, especially at my graduation and all. And then later I somehow pulled it on and I came to Hyderabad to somehow survive, right? I mean, I can't keep depending on my parents. So I just started off helping my senior who was into US recruitment. That's how I got to know what recruitment is all about. And then I used to work for him in the late evenings, help him submit the resumes for the US staffing folks. And he was getting a lot of incentives for that, and he used to pay me that back to me. That's how I started off, and it kind of created some sort of an interest. But otherwise, if you ask about me, what is your educational background? I'm a BTech IT guy, but got into HR and now heading HR.
Wow.
So that kind of helped me evaluate candidates, and somehow I feel common sense is the best essence you should have when you're at work or when you're taking some decision. That's how I used to speak with the candidates. Slowly I got into domestic recruitment, and then I got into business development. That's how I started off my career with CGS as a business development manager, and later on kind of got into different roles, and now I'm heading HR for CGS India. If you ask about what do I do on weekends, I play a lot of cricket, I listen to a lot of music, and I'm a little passionate about interiors as well. So I kind of help my friends, kind of give them ideas. I keep visiting some other house of my friends where some sort of an interior work is going on. They take a lot of help of mine. Even in my office, my part is a lot in terms of deciding the whole office interiors. That's what I do.
Yeah, if somebody wants to join CGS, I would say the office space is really beautiful. I just learned from you that you have been a major part of designing it. So, yeah, because employees spend a lot of time here in office. This should feel like home. This should feel like a part of where they want to be working for 9 hours a day. So, your story is nothing short of inspirational. It's a story. You can write a book about it someday. It's very nice from starting at one point, you visualize, you manifest, and then you reach to that point. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful journey. And throughout this, when you mentioned that you picked up this IT recruitment and working with a colleague, do you also feel that through all this 18 years, a human aspect, an emotion or a connect is also very, very important. Ethics, if I might say, is very important while dealing with people in this profession?
Of course. I mean, see, now we are talking about AI. AI, see, for me, if you talk about you speaking with a bot, right, you will not have that sort of, emotional connect, right? I mean, so you will not have any loyalty, right, when you're talking to a machine, right? So we Indians, we are a little connected towards loyalty, working with people, like being loyal to people, speaking with people. That's what we like.
Right.
We doesn't want to speak with machines. So obviously, though we have AI coming into our lives, I mean, we still should have some sort of an emotional connect, personal connect, and that's how I think, I mean, so we'll have better life in terms of careers, or it could be even in our lives in general.
Oh, that's also something, a very different perspective. You know, generally when I have a lot of discussions with people, everybody is running through that AI thing. And yeah, it is important. Things change, technology changes. It's very important to brace it. But the perspective that you have given, that the human touch also when in our country or, you know, while dealing with people is very important, and that should never go missing.
Correct. So that's why we generally speak every call on video, right? I mean, so why do you need a video? Otherwise, you can speak in front of a machine, right? That's why a lot of, not just about Indians, I mean, even our managers there in US or other countries, they want to see us and talk to us, contact eye to eye, and that's how you get to know their emotion.
Right.
That's how it is.
So, Giri, 18 years in this entire career span of yours, where you actually also started hiring for US IT services. So, 18 years is a long time. When you are hiring means you have met thousands and thousands of people, and even more, I can say. If you're hiring in India, going to colleges, the number is a lot.
Yes.
So, if I instantly ask you, what is the first thing, even today, that comes to your mind when you are going for a hiring drive, or you're hiring a person, or it's a meeting that you have with a candidate? What's the first thing you think before the meeting?
I always wanted to check whether the candidate is really interested in this offer, in this opportunity. That's the first and foremost thing I wanted to check. Then comes the next.
Right.
Yeah. So that's something I always check when I meet any person, or whenever I interview. I doesn't ask much about their past experience. I try to get into their details and then check whether they are really interested, they are eager to join us. Otherwise, it's waste of time for both of us, right? So that's something I generally check. And I had been successful so far in judging people and taking decisions. And that's how I would say, I mean, though we have dropouts, I don't say it's zero dropouts, but we kind of can judge people a little better when you understand more about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, good to hear that most of the hiring has been success. I'm sure you people are in the businesses so long, you have such a huge experience. But let's go to the negative side of it. There are dropouts. Sometimes people, like, even if you would have gone with the best heart and judgment, there would have been one mistake, and you would have judged the person completely wrong.
Correct.
What do you do then?
See, most of the time our pain point, I would say, that's something I wanted to talk about. The more the interview progresses, right? I mean, probably a recruiter speaks, then a couple of technical discussions happen, then probably someone at our on-site speaks, right? The confidence of the candidates, it rises up. And they think, yeah, CGS wants me, right? That's when they change their expectations. That's the toughest part. I know we don't have a solution to control it, right? I mean, it's like they would have got some other offer, or they're ambitious. They became more ambitious by then, by the time we kind of conducted all the interview rounds. That's the toughest part we have. And we are living with it. I mean, I don't have a solution for it so far. We're still thinking. We try to judge them. As I said, eagerness is something we generally check. But still we'll have a lot of offer dropouts, but we are really helpless on that front. So that's where, I don't know what else I could say about that, but I don't know, I'll have to learn from a lot of others in different forums. That's what I always try to check, I mean, if they have a solution for it, but we don't have a solution for it. I mean, you can't tell, you expected this, you stick to this, right? I mean, they say that's fine, I mean, I'm not interested at that point of time.
So, a couple of hours ago, I think we were having a chat, and I asked you a question, and I think that was off the camera, and you answered very straightforward. So this question is also mostly, I would not want to point down to any certain generation, like, okay, millennials used to do this, and before that something else happened, and Gen Z or Gen X are doing something else. But do you think that the way people work or the way people want to work for a company, especially the young pool of talents, I'm sure you're hiring them as well from colleges and other places. What do you think has changed? Do you think there is, ethics and morals and things like that do not come into action these days? That is one. Or do you think people are very straightforward with what they want? Okay, they want to work. They want work for money.
Correct.
With certain career goals, and that has got nothing to do with loyalty or ethics, and they just want to go with whatever is coming in. Do you see that change happening?
Yes, there is a lot of change, I would say, in terms of professionals coming, especially in the IT industry, right? I mean, so if you talk about my seniors, I mean, so I'm talking about 20 years or 30 years back, they had some sort of a loyalty perspective, right? I mean, if someone gives them job, I mean, they live on their money, they'll show some sort of a loyalty towards the company. Now, what has become is like, what is in it for me for everything, right? If I'm helping someone, they think, what will that give back? I mean, even if you talk about a lot of shots coming in, right? I mean, I don't know how they could shoot the exact moment, right, where they were helping someone. So it's at the end of the day, they wanted something back. Right, though they're trying to help someone, they wanted a lot of publicity, a lot of them should like. That's the stage we had come into, right? And now if you talk about the younger generations, they are in the more than Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen X and all that stuff, right? They came into the shorts stage where they wanted everything to happen, right? They can't see failures. That's something, I mean, I also discussed in a lot of forums, and I told them, I mean, you encourage children to play sports, right? And then they know there are failures as well. Right? That eventually turns out to be your life, right? I mean, if you can't see failures, I mean, you expect whatever you want to be on your table, that's not going to happen. That's the difference with what we could see today.
So there's no lack of patience. They just want everything very instantly.
Yes.
If they joined you for a matter of 2 months and they saw some instant success somewhere else, they would drop.
I'll tell you, in our call center, people join for just buying iPhone. They earn for that money, they buy iPhone, they're gone. That's it. They leave the job.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Okay, there's a lot of iPhone trends actually. I think, people, I do not want to say this on camera, but they sell a lot of things to buy, I will not name it, to buy iPhones. This is a new perspective. They just join a job to get an iPhone.
Correct.
So this has actually come to this, like from the times when people were very serious about joining a job, being loyal to a company, serving that company, not just working for that company. Nowadays, people are just oriented and goal-oriented, like, okay, certain thing I want, and then it's done.
Done. That's it.
Okay. So, Giri, you were just saying your love for cricket and, IPL is going on. Who's your favorite team?
Yeah, for now, it's Sunrisers. I am based out of Hyderabad. I mean, I obviously will have to support my home team. But otherwise, I mean, I like Dhoni as a player and as a leader more than a player. So that's when I always play cricket, and I always wanted to be a captain. Fortunately, I had been a captain for my, what do you say? I'm so sorry.
Your office team?
Yeah, office team. I mean, our community team. I mean, apartment team. Right. I mean, even at my college days, I had been a captain for most of the time. So that's why I always admire someone like Ganguly or Dhoni in cricket.
Okay. So, talking about IPL, and it's been seasons after seasons where I think both Virat Kohli and Dhoni, they have stick to a team.
Correct.
Maybe Dhoni is winning a lot of matches, maybe RCB is not, but there's a sense of loyalty there. There's a sense of how they want to, drive that team, the brand name, no matter what it is.
Correct.
Do you think it's a very important learning?
Of course. I mean, it's not just about Dhoni sticking to Chennai, right? I mean, it's the employer who wants Dhoni to be there, be in that team. Otherwise, I don't know, how far they would get that kind of passion within their city or Tamil Nadu, right? I mean,
Right.
they all love Dhoni. I don't know what happens after Dhoni get retired, right? That's a big question. Likewise, it's the same with Bengaluru as well,
Yeah.
right? Royal Challengers. They created some sort of a brand because of Dhoni and Kohli.
Yeah.
Right, it's not just about Royal Challenges. It's not just about
CSK, yeah.
Right. At the same time, I mean, they had also been that they gave that back to them, right? I mean, in terms of it could be the number of fans they want them to be in their teams. I mean, so it's like 360-degree, right? It's not just about Dhoni wants to be with them, or it's not just about Kohli wants to be with them.
Yeah.
It's like chemistry worked out very well for them. Likewise, if you talk about me, I mean, I had been here for about 14 years.
Yes.
They somehow, it's not just about, I didn't want it to go out. I tried, but then they want me. At the same time, there were a lot of situations where they kind of helped me to stay back, and I stayed back with them, and I'm continuing. I never, it's been quite some time I thought of going out of this company because they're challenging me and they're paying me what I need. So what else do I need?
So you were saying that you wanted to be a captain, though you're already a captain, and like just like Dhoni, you have sticked here. You've been here for 14 years. They want you, you want them. So it's a mutual love and respect for the company and for you. So I think it's a good. You're already a captain then. Maybe off the field or on the field you are.
Yeah, we recently won kind of third place, but not the first place.
Okay.
But then that's again a good achievement for me. I mean, we were about the whole Bachpalli area, there were about 12 teams and they were very good teams.
Oh.
So we still got third place.
So I think if we relate your hiring experience with the field of cricket, you take a lot of inspiration otherwise and balance it out how to do it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Giri, we are having a wonderful conversation, but I would like to break it with a small quick game.
Sure.
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
So the game is called Ghost or Go. So ghost means, and you just have to answer with ghost or go. So I'll give you 5 scenarios, hypothetical scenarios that happens during hiring a candidate. If you feel that candidate is going to ghost, you will say ghost. If you think the conversation will move forward, candidate will stay, you will say go.
Go. Okay.
Are we ready?
Done.
Okay.
Yes.
The first scenario, the candidate asks for 2x the offer salary last minute.
Ghost.
You call and the candidate says, "Who is this again?"
Ghost.
You see them update their LinkedIn to open to work after accepting your offer.
Ghost.
Okay. They didn't show up for the HR interview but sent an apology email later.
Go.
Okay. They are perfect on paper, but they have 4 no-shows in the last 6 months.
Ghost.
Okay. That was it, and you played really well. So let's move to the next segment.
Sure.
So you have had candidate ghosting experiences, right?
Correct.
In the past.
Correct.
So it has been, I'm sure it has affected your time, your money, has been project delays affected. Yes, clients a lot more.
Yes.
So both of us are on the same page and you are familiar with candidate ghosting, right?
Correct.
So this segment is mostly about candidate ghosting, where I'll ask you a few questions, but the catch is I'll not ask you the question directly. I have few questions in my tab, and out of it, you have to pick any 3 numbers. I have around 10. Whatever number you pick, I will ask the question against it. It will be a random one, and you have to answer with your experience, maybe real life experience.
Sure. Then I would go for 3, 6, and 9.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Are they your lucky numbers?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Number 3.
Uh-huh.
Do you think ghosting is a candidate issue or a broken recruitment process issue?
I would say broken recruitment process issue.
Okay. Why?
See, a lot of times what happens is after the offer is rolled out, we kind of relax a bit. We think we achieved something, but that's not where the recruitment journey ends, right? I mean, that's where your engagement journey starts, right? I mean, it's not about engaging your employee after they joining our organization. It's much before that. right after the offer is rolled out, that's when what I do to kind of cover it up is I bring in my HR team. They keep in continuous touch with these resources, and they send out some sort of reminders to fill in the forms. I mean, that's how we can really judge if the candidate is really going to join us. Right. So that's where, I mean, we also are seeing a lot of AI tools nowadays, but not sure to what extent they would help. But so far, we didn't use any AI tool. I'm looking forward to. But otherwise, these are some of the practices we kind of doing. And if we miss it out, if we don't engage with the candidate, there were situations where candidate remind us, hey, my joining date is in the next 3 days, I didn't got any email. Right. So that's a broken process, right? I mean, if you're not engaging with the resource, then he's gone. I mean, they think this company is not very serious about me, right? And then why should I take up this offer? That's how candidates will ghost.
Right. Lovely answer. I really liked how you put it down, broken it down for us.
Thank you.
Loved it. So to your next number, number 6, do you think companies ever ghost candidates too? Why is that less talked about?
I don't think so. That's probably out of 100%, probably 1-2% might be the situation. Or especially with freshers, I see a lot of ghosting with some of the big employers, right? I mean, so they give the offers, but they keep delaying the onboarding. Other than that, I don't think so that's happening at lateral level. Because most of the time, I never heard of it. So like you said, I mean, it was never talked about. Yes, it never happened, I would say, in our case, or in my case so far. Right. So that's the reason it's very, very less talked about.
I think you just said it right, because most lateral levels it does not happen. So yeah, and that is why maybe it is less talked about.
Yes.
So the last one for this segment, is ghosting ever okay? Can there be a valid reason for disappearing without notice?
Yes, of course, right? So it's a learning for everyone, right? Life is all about learning every day, right? Until unless you know the actual reason why the candidate dropped out, you can't learn. I mean, you don't know how to fix the problem, right? I mean, like in the case of their expectation changed, right? If they tell us at least I got an offer, the offer is this, and this is my comfort level, we may try and create that sort of a comfort zone, and we may try and create some sort of a package for him. But if we don't know the reason why the candidate dropped out or why their expectations rised up, what do you learn out of it? I mean, you are ghosted end of the day, right? There's nothing you could do, right? End of the day, if the candidate tells us something about, hey, this is the reason why I wanted to drop out, I mean, I got something better. It could be money, it could be comfort, it could be family, it could be a lot of other aspects. They'll have to just let us know why they're dropping out. It's not just that they have every right to kind of drop out the offer, but they should let us know why they are dropping out of the offer, which would help us to kind of prepare for the next candidate.
Sure. Sure. Thank you. So Giri, we had a fun segment. We heard about your experiences with ghosting. We also played a game. Now, I'm sure you know what OfferX does. Is all about eliminating ghosting. That is our major tagline that we go with. We want to eliminate ghosting. But that's not a one-day process, and Rome was not built in a day. So there are a lot of data that we keep adding on. We encourage HRs or TAs in our community to use OfferX more and more so that the candidate data is built up. And also as a community, like, there are so many communities like Glassdoors and other where candidates have a strong community, where they put reviews and all of that. So this is about HRs coming under one platform.
Excellent.
And there are a lot more features. I'm sure you're aware about it. So do you think a tool like this helps hiring managers, TAs and HRs on a long run?
I think, I mean, a lot of HR folks were looking for something like this. As I said, Glassdoor or Ambition Box, it's more of an employee market, right? I mean, we also wanted to dominate them through some other tool. I don't say dominate as such. I mean, it's more of informative for us to take some good decisions, right? I mean, it's not just about you're guessing something, but at least you have some data to kind of take a decision and just be prepared for some failures, right? I mean, that's something this kind of tools would definitely help us.
Right. So I'm sure you went through the features of OfferX, and I would like to talk about a feature of tracking the candidates. Offer
Correct.
punching feature is what we call, where we track the candidate's journey after the offer is rolled
Rolled
out.
out.
And I'm sure you know about it.
Right.
What is your take on it? What do you think about it? What do you want to tell other HRs and hiring managers listening to this podcast, that how do you feel about this particular feature on OfferX?
One thing out of my experience, right? I mean, a lot of candidates, majority of the candidates, I would say, they get serious about the opportunity after they get the offer in hand.
Yeah.
Not many till then, right? I mean, a lot of them, they might be eager to join some company, but majority of them, only after they receive the offer, only after they read the offer, they get to know, yeah, this came into my hand. What do I do with it now? Whether I go and join, then they start doing some sort of research, then they kind of ask us more questions, right? I mean, or they would just disappear. Right. This is what would happen a lot of the time. So with my experience, I would say that's when they become serious. That's when you'll have to engage with those candidates more than before the offer is rolled out, right? I mean, obviously recruiters, they follow up for the interviews and all. There's some sort of an engagement already happening, whereas the recruiter is eager to kind of track, close the position.
Right.
There's a lot of engagement happening. But when it comes to after the offer is rolled out, we are just leaving the candidates. That's when the actual thinking goes back into the candidate's mind, and that's when you'll have to tap him very well for you to get him on board. Otherwise, this becomes a challenge for us, and probably something like OfferX, where you're getting into the engagement perspective after the offer is rolled out, which is going to be very, very good thing.
Right. So you do understand the logic behind it, and this is also one of your key messages that you want to give out to the audience, that okay, this feature really helps you.
Correct.
And I'm so happy you also liked it, because that's our motto in OfferX, that the HR community should feel very secure.
Correct.
And mostly they should save time. They should not unnecessarily go out and roll out offer letters. And if it is rolled out, the candidate should be joining, because no company wants to lose a good candidate. That is how the whole circle revolves.
It's not just about losing a good candidate. I would say it's a lot of money behind it, right? I mean, it's not just about time. Time is money for all of us, right? So we are paying for the time we are spending at office. So obviously a lot of time, a lot of resources are getting wasted if the candidate is getting dropped out. Like attrition, right? This is another perspective which every HR person will have to look at. What is the offer to joining ratio, right? Which is very, very important aspect. If tools like OfferX are going to improvise this ratio, then nothing like that.
I'm so happy you gave the audience the message that I wanted to give. So it was on point, and thank you for that. Thank you for supporting OfferX.
Thank
you. This is something that I would also want all our viewers, listeners, and HRs who are all listening and not on the other side of the podcast would start actively using it, because somebody who has such long experience also feels that it is an important feature.
Correct. This is very, very important feature, I would say. I mean, we will have to start exploring more about it.
Sure.
And then we'll start using it eventually.
Sure. So with that note, with all your interesting perspectives on hiring HR, your journey so far and your career, we come to the end of this podcast. Goodbyes are always hard, but the podcast has to end. And I'm always happy walking out with so much perspectives, so much experiences, and meeting a new person, knowing what's happening on the other side of the table is my key takeaway. And I always enjoy when I have so much to take away after a podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Giri, for attending, for finding time, and for being with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's one last message, right? I mean, so to all the folks who are listening it out, right? So, though AI is coming into our lives, right? I mean, so we'll have to use AI as our assistant more than we front-ending it fully to the resources, especially in terms of hiring.
Right.
Because we generally don't give a lot of respect, or there's no emotion, right? Why tools had come into picture, especially when you're rolling out an offer, reading out an offer, when you are telling something to the candidate in detail, talking about rules. No one doesn't like listening to rules from a human resource, right? But then if it is a tool, they'll not have that emotion. They'll not put it on your face. They might come and talk to you, but not right, when you're talking about the rules, right? I mean, likewise, I would say when even in recruitment, a lot of times I would say that you should front end it, and AI should obviously help you. Tools like OfferX will help you engaging the candidates, and you'll have to still pitch in at one point of time.
Right.
We'll explore more about OfferX and how we can kind of introduce some sort of manual intervention, and probably some sort of manager's introduction, or probably a CEO's, a president's message through OfferX, right, as a part of the engagement journey. That's something we will explore more.
Sure.
Right, that's
It's an
something I
ongoing
want to-
journey, and we'll
Correct,
keep
correct.
moving on with
And
it.
then thanks for all this conversation where you asked me some good questions, and,
Yes.
and obviously I'll have to start thinking about some answers, and which obviously might coming to my real journey at work,
Sure.
right? So this will really help us.
It was lovely having you. Vicky.
Same,
Thank
same
you.
here.